In other news around Cleveland, talk about a hell of a Week 1 matchup bowl. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team, my ass, heading to a real America's team, the Cleveland Browns.
No now you're sucking up.
425, Fox, Tom Brady on the call. Yeah. Could you have asked for a better Week 1 opening season matchup for the Cleveland Browns? Storylines galore.
Yes.
Tyvis, what do you think about this Week 1 matchup?
Well, the first thing I thought is 425 in Cleveland. That means that I won't get home till 2 o'clock in the morning. So there you go. That's literally the first thing I seen was 425.
Why 2 o'clock? Oh yeah,
because I have to do pre and post game show, which you can find me on the Cleveland Browns Radio Network. Pre and post game. Make sure that you call in, and I will answer all of your questions. But just know that if the game starts at 425, that means that game's not going to end till 8:30. Which means
what do you mean 8:30? It's not a 4-hour game.
Bull.
3 hours.
Trust me. Trust me.
And how long's the post game?
The post game is 2-ish hours.
Oh my God! So you get home at 1.
Something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sucks.
You know? So, but anyways, I like the matchup because I like the fact that I think when Bull even brought this up when we did this a month ago.
Yeah.
I like what you said about the fact that they're playing a team that's going to be nationally media always talks about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And both teams will be fresh, so injuries won't play a part of it. So you're getting two good. You got a premier pass rush on both sides. You got two quarterbacks that need to have a big year now. You got just good playmakers out there with CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, David Njoku, all of these guys. So I like the matchup. It can go either way. And I feel like if the Browns do go out there and become very dominant against them, against a team that's nationally covered, they'll get the national recognition that they've been looking for. Like, oh, they did this against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys been 12-5 or won 12 games the last 3 seasons, so it's a really good opponent. And, you know, the Browns usually don't do well in Week 1. So if they can find a way to win this Week 1, which I think they won last year Week 1, they win this year Week 1 against this team and the weather don't play a part of it, like, that's what you want. You're on the map. Nobody's ducking you anymore. Last year, I think the Browns did a really good job of sneaking up on people because people was on the, oh, it's the same old Browns. Yeah, they got this new D coordinator, but who cares? The Browns are going to Brown. That's what they used to say. And the Browns was going in there smacking people right in the mouth. So I think now, last year, has gotten people alert. You go out there on Week 1 and handle business Week 1, there is no creeping up on anybody anymore. Everybody knows who you are, and now everybody's going to play you accordingly.
And but the Browns have a long history of being terrible in Week 1. However, coincidence or not, in the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show era, the Browns are 2-0 in Week 1. I'm just stating facts right now. They are 2-0 in Week 1. It seems like, by the way, since they've come back in '99, that the Browns are at home almost every year in Week 1. I don't know why that is, but way more often than not, they've been at home in Week 1, and they are again this year. It's Dallas. A couple other things that I think are interesting in this matchup, Jason. I like Denzel Ward versus CeeDee Lamb. I don't know if they'll be locked up one-on-one, but that's a fun matchup. And your boy, Zeke Elliott's going to be the starting running back for the Cowboys, which is hard to believe that he's the starter
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, at this point.
I was just with him, what was that, last month?
Yeah, what did he have?
Can you get him on the show, Ty? Can we get a little Zeke preview of the
I'll
Browns
ask
Week 1
him.
matchup?
I'll ask him for sure. No, we did this event together.
Yeah.
Zeke is Zeke, man. Zeke,
okay.
You have to know Zeke to
appreciate it.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's a funny guy. I love kicking it with Zeke.
Jason, you were someone who was looking for the Cavs to play an easier opponent. This is not the toughest opponent on their schedule. What did I say? I said Cavs? Yeah.
You still got
for the
Cavs
Browns to have an easier opponent in Week 1. The Cowboys certainly not the toughest team on the schedule, but they're closest to the top than the bottom.
It's a good match.
Yeah.
You're gonna see Deshaun if he's healthy and out there, which all indications are he will be. You're gonna get a stern test right away with that Cowboys defense. And actually, my first thought when I saw it was, well, the Browns are out of timeout now. Like the purgatory.
Yeah, right.
Don't nationally spotlight Deshaun. Well, there is no bigger spotlight. Well, I guess the Sunday night game, but Tom Brady's first game is a pretty big spotlight to
and
put
425.
There's
only going to be a couple of games at that time.
Yeah, that's the showcase spot that they're in. So that tells me that there's probably a lot more national games to come for the Browns when the full schedule is released. Just because if you're going to do it in week 1, then you're really ripping the Band-Aid off with the Deshaun thing. But it's a great matchup. It's going to be a fun matchup. You nailed it. Full credit to you. I wanted an easy win. I thought, well, pick the Giants. Pick an easy game on the schedule, make it at home, and get off to that 1-0 start.
Chargers would have been.
Yeah. I love this matchup. I think it's exciting. I like having it, there's always going to be a buzz from us and in Cleveland for the Browns in week 1. But this creates a national buzz. And I know a lot of it will be directed towards the Cowboys, but the Browns have become, in the last few years, because of the controversy, first with Odell Beckham, then with Baker Mayfield, and now with Deshaun Watson, the Browns have become a notable team nationally. Yeah. They get talked about a lot more.
I feel like they went from really well liked to hated.
Oh yeah,
almost overnight.
Yes.
Like people were good for the Browns and good for that fan base. It's been so long since they had anything, and when Baker had them rolling.
Yep.
And then when they signed Deshaun, it just turned like that.
Yes.
To like one of the most hated teams in the league.
Because a lot of people like Baker. Kevin Stefanski's a likable guy, and Nick Chubb is a likable guy, and people like Myles Garrett. But Deshaun Watson, a lot of people don't like him. Yeah. So it certainly changed. But I'm excited about the matchup. I like the slugfest. I like that he's battling another good quarterback. The Cowboys are going to want to throw the ball. With Zeke as their starter, Zeke's old. They're not going to be running the ball a ton. He's old for a football player,
That's facts.
Whoa.
It hurts, but it's true.
He can still play.
Listen, we not doing that.
You're falling over the tire ladder.
We're not doing
ladder
that.
drill.
Listen, when Zeke became the premier back in New England, he was good.
He did a decent job.
He was good.
He's got, if we said last year,
800 yards. He gonna hit 800 yards.
Made famous the idea of Kareem Hunt being on 3 wheels. We'll say Zeke's on 3.5 wheels.
One of them's flat. He's got 4 wheels, but one of them's flat.
Can I meet you at 375?
All right, I got you. To be fair,
he's just got one flat tire.
To be fair, he was decent in New England, considering they had nothing around him.
Yeah.
He did a decent job, and he still, like Kareem Hunt, has a nose for that end zone and the short yardage. He can still do that at a very good level. But I'm very excited about this game. I think, and the fact that Tom Brady's calling the first game, how good do we think Tom Brady's going to be as an analyst?
Excellent.
I actually think he's going to be really good.
Yeah. I think he's going to be excellent.
He should be.
Because the thing is, he knows the game, and I think as of lately, he's come off as a very personable guy. With the roast, with the antics on TikTok and Twitter. He seems like a really cool, down-to-earth guy, and I think that's what people want. I think people are tired of seeing the standard analysts. They just blah, 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 blah. I think he'll actually throw some jokes in there. He'll share some stories in there, and I think that'll make it more interesting.
I think he will have no problem being critical.
That's the key
of these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He's already shown that.
I'm about to say he did it now.
That's it. I think he's going to be awesome because I don't think he's going to be afraid to be critical.
Yeah.
And that's the key. Some players come into the booth and they don't want to be critical.
He's got the juice and the money.
Yeah.
He doesn't need this job. He ain't doing this for the money. He's doing this so he has something to do and stays connected to the game.
I don't know.
And who's this play-by-play guy?
Oh, it's a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying.
Kevin
it's Burkhardt, right?
Kevin Burkhardt,
he could retire tomorrow, go golf for the rest of his life, and never need another dollar.
Who, Brady?
His grandkids won't need another dollar. He ain't doing it for the money, although he is getting a lot of it.
He might be on child support.
He is, but man, I think it's funny that at the roast, the only thing that was off limits was making fun of the owner.
And the kids.
Well, but nobody was going to bring up the kids.
I don't know. The woman said she had a long list of jokes about the kiss with his. Remember that kiss with his kid, the son or whatever.
Son in Tom's time.
I didn't remember that.
And she knocked out. She wiped all those.
To me, that's the only thing that should be. Don't make fun of somebody's kids.
But I really respect Tom for that. You
can think kids.
No.
The owner stuff
for the Kraft thing. You can think what you want about Robert Kraft, and you can dislike him, and that's fine. But from Tom's perspective, Robert Kraft has been very, very good to him, obviously throughout his career. And for Tom to say, "This is about me. You can go after me all you want. Don't touch him."
I don't agree.
I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't like it because he let it. You were able to go after everybody else.
Who did he go after? His ex-wife and him.
They went after Gronk. They went after.
But those guys.
That's it. But
Belichick.
that's a locker room.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Well, you can't make fun of the owner? I mean, he went
the guy
who cut your check?
How much
no.
money has Robert Kraft paid Tom
Are
Brady?
you serious? The guy that's
I'm glad they made the joke about him.
Listen,
he's disgusting.
Like
Go
I
ahead.
said, wait a minute. Before you do that, like I said, put the camera on me, Steve.
Oh, boy.
Jimmy and D. Haslam, I really do appreciate everything that you do for my radio check. I just received my check in the mail yesterday. I appreciate it.
Did it have the extra 100 in it?
Not yet. We still in negotiation phase.
You think they pay you more with all the billions they have?
You know what? I got to get my representative on it. Last time when we negotiated, I had to get one of my representatives involved and put him in contact with him, and he handled it for me. My representative is the name of Richard Sherman. He actually handled that for me. So shout out to Sherman.
Richard Sherman negotiated with Jimmy Haslam. No,
not Jimmy, but but my boss.
I think you should let me negotiate.
You want to do it?
I'll do it for you. Let's go.
I think I need representation.
You want to represent? You want to be a
representative.
we could do a three-way call.
JW's at the game last night.
I just only want a couple.
Was he?
Yeah, JW's at the Cavs game last night.
Man, that guy earned his money, no
I
doubt.
put together a list. We've talked about some of these, but I did a unofficial top 5 most interesting storylines in immediate reaction to learning that the Cowboys and Browns were the Week 1 matchup. So these were the 5 that I came up with in order. There's no graphics or anything, but number 5 is the debut of Jerry Jeudy against this Dallas secondary, who was a bunch
That's the number 1 storyline?
No, number 5. Number 5. I'm going 5 to 1. But the debut of Jeudy and whatever this new passing attack looks like against a pass rush that's obviously really talented with Micah Parsons and a secondary that's getting Diggs back after having Deron Bland set the pick 6 record. So seeing how Jeudy and these
Gilly
weapons
no
go
more,
up.
right? Gilly gone, right? Stephen Gilmore, Stephon. Oh my God!
No,
I think he's still a free agent.
So he's not with Dallas though.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think he's a free agent, but I don't know. It's all right. You don't need to know off the top of your head.
No, Gilboy's still in Dallas.
Is he?
Look at that, Tyvis. You misled us.
I thought he was a free agent. I promise you he's a free agent.
I obviously did too.
The article says Stephon Gilmore still has plenty to offer Cowboys at cornerback in 2024. Looks like he's still a free agent. But either way, they have Deron Bland. They get Diggs back. So it's a good secondary.
Well, Deshaun
I'm
better
curious
be
to see what
careful
this
because
new
that one
offense looks
corner
like.
was pick 6ing. He broke the record last year for most pick 6s in a year.
He did. That was Deron Bland. I just said that.
Did you say that? I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, thanks
My
for listening.
ADD's rubbing off. You're catching it.
It is.
You're catching it.
Number 4 is a completely revamped Dallas offensive line going up against the reigning defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett, who I have a feeling is going to look at this as not a personal one-on-one battle because defensive guys can't go up against each other, but with Micah Parsons on the other side, that's the next up. It's still Myles' crown he has to come get.
And we know
3,
Myles plays his best football in September.
And he was a big fan of the Dallas Cowboys. If you remember when he was getting drafted.
Yes, he's from Arlington.
He definitely said,
Yeah.
if y'all want to trade up to get me, I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
He went to Arlington Martin High School, which is about 10 minutes away from Jerry World. So next up, Deshaun and Nick Chubb's health. Is Chubb going to play? Is Deshaun healthy? We'll find out. Number 2 was Tom Brady being on the call. And number 1, and Ant, will you pull up the clip I sent you? This happened over the summer. And if you missed it, I cannot wait to see this rivalry get reignited on Week 1. Steve, play with sound.
The David and the
Micah, how do you think he did in the first
I
half?
thought he did amazing. He made great adjustments. He obviously showed why Cleveland's Cleveland and ran.
That's a
crazy shot.
Don't give us that political.
David, you have an opportunity for a rebuttal here. Obviously, that first
all,
half didn't go the way you wanted.
It's cool. You know,
Okay.
you understand one thing, you know. And excuse my voice, it's gone. When the monsters come with big bosses, one thing you got to understand is he said Cleveland's Cleveland, but we're both here. I mean, we're both like playing this
interesting.
Madden game.
I think that's a
So
shot.
you got to make it make sense.
Any person who's reenacting Meek Mill lyrics is like, I can't take him serious. I mean,
but am I lying though?
Nah, you trying to be lyrical, but those
I'm
not even
being
good
lyrical.
lyrics.
I'm saying we're both fitting.
Lyrically, I'm supposed to represent.
He has a good point, bro. We all here.
So what are you saying, Cleveland? Dallas?
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's take it back to this game for a second. Tyreek, you are back in a similar situation that you were last year. How do you get your team?
Is there an athlete, a Cleveland athlete, who has grown in popularity? Did you know where I was going with that?
Who's grown in popularity in Cleveland for defending the city to the
Well,
extent
just
that
grown,
David
just
and
grown in
defend-
popularity over the last year.
Like 2-3 years ago, he was persona non grata.
Absolutely.
Here. Like people wanted him out. He was a bust. And
in the last year, 12 to 18 months, his popularity in this city, I'm not saying he's the most popular athlete in Cleveland, but from the baseline of where he was to where he is, I can't think of an athlete who has grown more in popularity, especially one who's been here he's been here a long time.
Every other guy I can think of, at least since I've been here for 13 years, either started high, they maybe got higher, but they started high,
right?
Like a Nick Chubb or whatever, or their popularity went down,
right,
as time went on, like Baker Mayfield, Odell, sure, but yeah, I mean, he was like, if you ask people, certainly even a couple years ago, but if you asked people like 3-4 years ago to rank your favorite Browns, he would have probably been on the bottom of the list.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's
at
still
one point
on the
he wanted
team.
to be traded.
Yeah, asked for a trade.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy him. I think he's really grown into his personality.
Great personality, yeah.
And he used to be real quiet, never really said a lot. And just the last year or two, this coming out party.
It's because he don't back down from nobody. You know, he.
If I looked that way, I wouldn't either.
I mean, if you do one of his workouts, you will.
Well, you got to do a lot more than one.
You're right about that. Me and McNuggets.
I think I could work out.
And McNuggets supposed to go back, and we still ain't went back.
I could do that workout every day for the rest of my life. I ain't gonna look like him.
That's true.
I don't know. First of all, you can't.
Will
do
it
that
make me
workout.
grow 6 inches?
Yeah. I mean, we'd be in great shape.
Well, you know, wait a minute.
No, we're not gonna look like him.
Wait a minute. See, now this is where you're wrong. Today's day and age.
Yeah.
You can get surgery to get 6 inches on your knees. They can make you taller nowadays.
I would like that. I want knee
I
surgery.
am almost 48 years old. I am not adding 6 inches.
I'll tell you
these
though, I'm
knees.
older than you, Jason, and I'm down with that. I want to be 6 inches taller. I got, is this covered by insurance? Can I get? I mean, my whole life would change if I were 6 feet tall.